literally the easiest to win that it's ever been. You just have to work. Get the fuck up and keep going. You have nothing to lose. Sorry for my French, man, but it's the truth. In my previous video, did you think that I wanted to be sitting out in the cold for 2.5 hours? Fuck no. So many people nowadays are not disciplined. This is literally my biggest thing, is discipline. Today I'm going to be going over the top 7 mindsets I've used myself to go from flat broke, making no money at all, to making almost $4 grand a month at only 16. These mindsets have been proven and used by many countless entrepreneurs that you already love and know, such as Alex Hormozi, Luke Belmar, and Iman Ghazi, as well as many others amongst Elon Musk and Donald Trump. These mindsets will help you change the way you think about life entirely, and by the end of this video, you'll be coming out of it as a whole new person. These 7 mindsets help me go from flat broke to making almost 4K a month in just 4 months. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, consistency. Now you have to understand, no matter what business you get started, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in life, if you do not stick to whatever you want to do, it means nothing. I want you to just sit back and close your eyes and picture this. Imagine a rabbit running from a lion, okay? And the lion's continuing to chase the rabbit. And the rabbit gets out of breath, and eventually it decides to stop. Everything it had done up to the point meant nothing at this point, because now it is dead. It meant nothing. You have to have this same mindset when going through life. If everything you do and you keep trying and trying and trying until eventually you fail and you give up, then what was the point in it? You just wasted countless hours, days, months, even years of your life that amounted to nothing in the end. It doesn't matter if you're making small progression, even no progression at all. If you keep going and you work every single day, it's impossible to lose. Consistency is key. You have to be consistent. You have to keep going. If you don't, you'll run out of time. Let me give you an example for a minute. Luke Belmar, when he first started his entrepreneurial career, he started at a restaurant, washing dishes. Every time Luke Belmar got a paycheck, he would invest into crypto and e-commerce. And he did that every single time without fail. You have to be the same way. Is this really what you want in life? Sit there and ask yourself this. Because the people who do want it will continue to go and will continue to thrive over time. And people who are lazy and don't put in 100% of your effort, don't put in 100% of consistency, will fall behind. It's like a race. If I'm going this fast and you're going this fast and I'm continually going to get faster, you're never going to catch up, because it's the consistency. If you want to catch up to where people already are, you have to go faster. If we're both going this fast and I never move from this pace and you keep going faster, eventually you're going to catch up. But you'll never catch up if you stay at the same pace. So where you are at today, you have to change that if you want to succeed. Consistency doesn't matter if you don't have organization. And this leads us to number 2. Alright, consistency does not matter if you don't have organization, okay? If your mind is cluttered and everything is all over the place, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to have at least some form of organization. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the most organized person, if we're gonna be for real. But there's certain things you have to be organized about. There's certain things I'm very specific about. Grab a notebook, start writing this down, okay? I want you to write down how many hours you have in a day. I want you to think for a minute. When do you normally wake up and when do you normally go to bed? Okay? Then when you figure out those hours, I want you to go through your week. Do you have a job? Do you go to school? Do you have sports? What do you do that takes out time? And I want you to sit there and I want you to write everything you have down for the whole week. And at the end, I want you to write how much time you're proactive in doing something and how much time you're not. I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say I go to school for 6 hours and I wake up at 6 o'clock and I don't go to bed till 12 o'clock, okay? That's 18 hours in a day total, all right? Now we're gonna take out 6 from school. Now let's say I work for 5 hours a day, okay? Now we're up to 11 hours. Now let's include another hour for transportation and commute. Now you're at 12 hours. Now let's take another hour and a half out for eating, showering, getting ready for the day. Now you're realistically only looking at 13 and a half hours out of 18 you're busy doing something. That is more than half of your day. So for the rest of the 5.5 hours, you have to be working. Let's say you only work for 5 days and you have 2 days off. For those 2 days, let's say they're during the weekday and you work on the weekend and you only still have school for 6 hours and we'll cut transportation down to a half hour. Between school, commuting, eating, and getting ready, now you're up to 8 hours out of your day. That leaves you with 10 now, which is a way more. You need to use this time wisely. This is where organization and prepping comes in. If you're just wasting your time scrolling endlessly, watching YouTube shorts, doing whatever it is that you do that is not productive, you're gonna run out of time and you're fighting an uphill battle. Let's move to the next one. Number 3, adaptation. All right, listen to me for a minute. Most people like doing the same thing every day. What I mean by that is most people have a schedule. You have a schedule. As I just stated, I told you to sit down, write on a piece of paper what you do on a daily basis and get your hours. Now from here, if you could already picture this and you don't even have to write it down, then you've built a habit. Now, you may not know the specific times and days that you have freely, which is why I told you to write it down, but this is the point where your mind has built a habit. It's a flow. If you're so used to doing the same thing every single day without fail, you're just going to keep going in the same direction. You're not going to get anywhere further to where you want to be. You have to learn to adapt. Put yourself in uncomfortable positions and start to like that. Start to go in places that you've never been, but you want to learn. Humans have evolved over time. If you go back 6 million years ago, we were one of the most weakest animals alive. And from that 6 million years times, we've developed to be one of the most top species. Do you know why? It was because we adapted to our environment, as did all other animals. That's why animals that exist now and back then are completely separate. If you don't learn to adapt and enjoy new environments, you're just going to be stuck where you're at and you're never going to move forward at all in life. Adaptation is one of the most biggest things that I can stress because so many people like comfortability. So many people like an easy life because they feel like they're in more control. You feel like as if you don't have as much to lose. You're more in control of your life, but it's just the opposite. You need to learn to adapt to new environments. For example, look at Iman Gadzi. If you go back to his content all the way back from 7-8 years ago when he first started up until now, he's had a massive transfer. Through 2016 to 2018, 2018 to 2022, and 2020, all the way up to now in 2025. The way that he's produced his content, the way he has edited it, the way he has changed it, it's developed, it's adapted. He's gotten better. That is what adaptation is. It's to get better. He became someone who documented his day-to-day life to teaching people what he knew about SMMA, all the way up to a variety of other things. He adapted and used what he had most. Now he runs a software company. From vlogging to a software company, there is nothing in common. It's adaptation. It's using what he had in the moment to change to where he wanted to get. With that being said, let's move into number 4. I'll be honest with you, I'm not educated. I'm super slow. I'm the same, if not lower than the average person, okay? The only thing that really sets me different that I notice with most people around my age, I have the same ambition. I just have more of a drive. And I put in more work. Most of you who are watching this aren't even going to put in the work that it takes. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of you aren't going to. It's fine. It's not meant for everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not meant for everybody. I'm just here to teach the people who want to get there. This is just me documenting my way there to help people along the way and teach them what I already know. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I also know what it was like to start from straight scratch. You have to know, you don't know a single thing. You don't know anything. The second people start thinking that they know everything and they stop learning, they start dying on the inside. It's literally my banner. The second you stop learning, you start dying. And I mean this so sincerely. The second you shut your mind off, it stops working completely. The second you stop going anywhere in life, you'll start to crumble. It's a mindset. The foundation that your mind has been built upon over centuries and centuries and centuries of evolution has been built for humans to adapt and to learn. If you're not learning, you're not going to go anywhere. If you stop learning, literally the neurons that in your brain will become less productive. They slow down and they don't work as properly. You always want to be learning. Even when you think you know something, remember, you don't know a thing. There's stuff that you'll never know. I'm gonna die not knowing certain things. That's just how it goes. I'm gonna use Alex Hormozi for this example. Alex Hormozi, when he first started as a gym owner. Then one day, one of his fellow peers came to him and told him that he's a level 10 entrepreneur in a level 2 business. From that day, Alex Hormozi had learned more and more and more to further himself. He went from being a gym coach to selling people and teaching them how to run gyms, to physical brands, to online products, to a fitness and entrepreneur guru. He learned so many things over just a decade and went from sleeping on a gym floor to being worth over $100 million. If this doesn't go to show you how much you can learn over time, I don't know what will. The more you look to learn and the more you know you don't know, the further you will go in life. I want to dive a little bit more into that section of where you want to go in life. For number 5, I want you to ask yourself, what is the purpose? Why are you doing this? What do you want to achieve? I have another thing that I want you to do real quick. Like I said earlier, grab a notebook, grab a pen, man. I want you to write some stuff down, all right? Write down where you want to be by the end of this year. Then I want you to write down where you want to be within the next 5 years, from 2026 to 2028 and 2028 to 2030. Now this part is very important. I need you to be very specific and go in detail as to where you want to be for these years. Describe everything down to the detail. Where you'll be living, what kind of car you'll have, what color is the car, what kind of house do you want to live, what's the environment, who are the people that you want to be around? How much money are you making a year? How will you dress? What will you eat? Be very specific about everything from 2026 to 2030. I want you to be very specific. For each 2 years, I want you to set where you want to be and where you're going to go, okay? Then for this year, after you have all those bullet points, at least a solid page or two, for this year, I want you to be very in-depth. Remember, small wins lead to big victory. Rome wasn't built overnight. Map out where you are and where you want to be by the end of the year. For me, I want to be making 10 grand by the end of the year. So I wrote down where I am currently, what I have going on, and how I want to use that and incorporate each other by the end of the year to be making 10 grand a month. Be very specific about everything. Go very in depth into how it will all connect. Dive deep down the rabbit hole and be very specific. If you can't imagine it and you can't say it on a piece of paper specifically, then you need to believe in yourself. It's very important that you know what you're working towards and where you want to be. Because if you do not, and you're just working and working and working in an endless circle, you're just going to be another slave like a regular person in society, and you're not going to go anywhere. You need to know where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Make a plan. Most of you don't have a plan. You're just hacking at it, going randomly. If I shoot an arrow at a target aimlessly, I'm never going to hit it, or at least the chances are super low. But if you lock in and you look down the sight, you'll have a way more chance, and you keep trying and trying, eventually you'll hit it. The same applies to life. If you try every single day and you know where you want to go and you'll know how you'll get there, you will make it. With that being said, let's move into number 6. God. Now, I've talked about this previously in my other videos, and most people might think, oh yeah, she's just corny, but I'm being so serious. Where I am today and where I've gotten would not be possible without him. Without the Lord, it would not be possible at all. I wouldn't. I would still be running the streets doing terrible things that I'm not proud of. But I got here thanks to the Lord. He gave me opportunities and he put obstacles in my way and tests to see if I'm worth it, and he's rewarded me. Now, I'm personally Christian. As I stated before, you might not be Christian. You might be Muslim. You might be Jewish. You might be Buddhist. You might be atheist. You might not believe in a single thing. You might believe that there's something, you just don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, you need to find the Lord, whichever Lord that is for you. I'm personally going to recommend you go to Christianity and you seek Jesus. However, that's not for everybody, and I completely understand that. But in order for you to get to where you want to go, you need the Lord. It's impossible to get there. And the people who do get there are empty. Maybe not in terms of wealth. Maybe not even in terms of happiness. But there's something about your life you'll never have. And you're going to have so much more struggles trying to get there if you don't have him. Just to live life, just having him will allow you to see life from a whole different perspective. You'll live it as a complete new person. I'm telling you from experience. There's things that I've seen and I've been through that I don't have words for. I cannot describe to you. It's literally like it gave me chills when these things happen. I'm telling you, you will not make it unless you have the Lord. All thanks go to God. It's in my description. I say it every time. All thanks go to God. I can't stress enough. You won't get there unless you have the Lord. Alright, with that being said, now let's move into the final thing. Number 7, discipline. Now you could take everything I've said so far. Everything. And if you're not disciplined, it means nothing. If you're only working on the days that you want to work, you're not going to get to where you want to get. There are days where I wake up, I'm like, fuck, here we go again. Sorry for my French, man, but it's the truth. In my previous video, did you think that I wanted to be sitting out in the cold for 2.5 hours? Fuck no. But you have to. If you want to go to where you want to get, you have to put in the work. You have to be disciplined. In my first video, you guys saw me wake up, go for a run, and come back, make food, go straight to school. And the second I got home from school, I was working nonstop. Even while I was at school, I was working. The whole entire day, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I'm doing something and I'm being productive. You need to be the same way, man. In a time where people rely on laziness and think that they can do whatever they want and they deserve everything in life, you couldn't be farther from the truth. It's literally the easiest to win that it's ever been. You just have to work. You have to get out there. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times you get pushed down, get the fuck up and keep going. You have nothing to lose. I can't stress this enough. Discipline. So many people nowadays are not disciplined. This is literally my biggest thing, is discipline. You have to discipline yourself. If you don't, you're not going to get there. Oh, let me chill for a minute. I went on a bit of a rant. I mean this so sincerely, like genuinely. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm trying to be very genuine with you guys. If you work and work and work every day, and then after like a couple weeks or a couple months, you're like, man, fuck, it's been hard, and you give up, or you work 5 days out of the week and then 2 days you're chilling doing nothing, or you're smoking pot while you're working and you're not fully productive, it doesn't mean nothing. You have to be disciplined, man. Think about it. Do you think the leaders of Rome were sitting in the Colosseum or sitting at a theater watching plays all the time? No, they got to work. Like I said before, you're gonna have times where you need to have a break, but you need to keep working, man. Do you think Genghis Khan conquered damn near almost all of Asia, going into the Middle East and parts of Europe by sitting on his ass? By hanging around with friends that aren't going where you want to go? By smoking weed? By playing video games? By scrolling on TikTok? No, bro, he got to work. It's what you gotta do, is get to work, man. You need to work. Hold on, I did it again. You need to work, bro. I mean it. You have to get to work. Discipline is the biggest thing. Let me give you 2 examples real quick of discipline. Donald Trump used to be in debt, billions of dollars, but he kept going and he kept working. And now he's one of the most richest businessmen in the world. And then look at Elon Musk. Him and his business partner used to work countlessly and countlessly. The dude used to be balding, bro. Like, he was so lack of nutrients. If you look at him, did you see him when he was on the yacht? He was overweight as fuck and pasty as shit. But you want to know why? Because he was disciplined. And now look at him. He's a multi-billionaire. Same with Trump. They're both billionaires. You want to know why they got there? Because they struggled and they were disciplined. With all that being said, man, you have the tools. This is literally everything that I've used and countless other entrepreneurs and successful people have used to get to where they want to go in life. Implement it, man. Use what you got to use. As always, if you have any questions, anything at all, bro, just let me know. I would love to answer anything. I'm always open to new mindsets, new horizons. Just ask me and I'll let you know. Put it in the comments down below. All right, man, I think that's going to do it. I hope y'all have fun. I'll see you guys later, man. Be safe. Remember, all things go to God. Peace.